This is an all signs reading for the end of May and also into the month of June, starting with the sign of Aries. So, Aries. What energies are at work for the sign of Aries? Any personal placements? Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, rising sign, North and South node, though the North node may be more relevant for you, especially if you are past the age of 30. You'll want to be aware of your North node. But all signs, starting with, again, the sign of Aries. And these are general energies for the sign of Aries at the end of the month of May and into June. First off, we have the Ace of Swords. So, Aries, you're feeling very directed. Truth is important to you at this time. You're also at a time where you're experiencing a painful end and a lot of anxiety. And it's a lot of mental energy happening here. The moon in the reverse in your past energies, closely related to this time. So some type of fear or truth has become known to you. And that's what you're holding to. You have what you need to know at this time. With the one you're closely associated with, we have the Three of Swords. It's an energy of heartbreak. It's in the reverse. So that heartbreak is one that they're coming to terms with at this time. So you are feeling the end, and so is the other. We have the Three of Wands showing up in the reverse. So this one that you're dealing with is going to be going into a Three of Wands energy in the reverse. That's showing that they're not looking out for any good from their actions in the past. They know that they're not to expect anything there. Bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Coins, and that's coming up in the reverse. So Aries, a lot of mental energy here for you at the end of the month of May and going into June. There's a final ending. There's a lot of pain overall in your situation for you and the other that you're dealing with. You're showing up as coming into this Magician energy, but it's Magician in the reverse. So Aries, you might be going into a manipulative type energy. You may be feeling like you have the ability, the right to correct things to the way that you see fit. You may, though, be exerting too much power in this situation, because the Magician here in the reverse may be using the tools that are at the disposal of the individual in a way that maybe goes beyond what they should. There's some tension here. There is some almost manipulative energy here for you. So you might want to look to stay out of that sort of energy coming up. Again, Knight of Coins followed by the Page of Cups. So that's energy that's also available to you. These are coming up in the reverse again, but there's an opportunity still for you to have this energy at work in your life and to get it into a righted position. So definitely something to work on here, because we're seeing this Knight of Swords energy. It's in the reverse, so for you, you're going to be getting out of the anxiety. You're going to be taking this mental pain and turmoil and moving out of that energy, which is good, because starting out, you're in this Ten of Swords, or the overall energy here with you and the one that you're dealing with is a Ten of Swords, very painful energy. So we can see already that that is lessening. We've come already down to the Nine of Swords, and then it's in the reverse. That's a good thing. That's what we want to see. So Aries, May and into June, things are getting better, but there's definitely a lot to work on. And you seem to be the one with the most agency here, the one most able to affect what is happening. The other one that you're linked with, like I said, is in a Three of Swords energy that is leading into the Three of Wands. So they're getting over a significant heartbreak and a loss of passion, a loss of enthusiasm for something they probably worked for to have some kind of good result, but they know that that is not coming now. That is something that they have internalized, that this energy will not be coming into a Three of Wands in the upright. They don't have something good to look forward to. It's coming up in the reverse. So hopefully that was helpful for you, Aries. Just a quick message, something for you to possibly work towards having a healing, a easing of anxiety going into June as you come out of the month of May. Okay, next up we have Taurus, beautiful earth sign. All right, let's see for Taurus. So again, we're just going to be doing a quick snapshot on the energies at work for you in the month of May and going into the early part of June. Everyone is on a different timeline, and this reading is for all personal placements in the sign of Taurus. So if you have a sun in Taurus, a moon in Taurus, rising sign, or Venus, Mercury, Mars, this reading may be helpful for you leading into this time. Okay. So Taurus, you're in an energy of nostalgia. And it might not all be pleasant memories that you are currently dwelling on or working with. Oh, somebody wants to talk. So Taurus, for you, there's between you and whoever else you're dealing with at the end of May leading into June, there is an inconsistent energy. And you're coming out of being like feeling stuck, feeling the need to pause because of the mental, kind of the mental elements that you're pretty much ruminating on. Okay, so we had the Emperor and the Ace of Wands. Okay, bottom of the deck here, we have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. So some type of energy of a problem with generosity overall. So all of this is kind of leading to that, or maybe leading to that. Again, you're coming out of this energy of feeling stuck and into your emotions, negative emotions, because we have here the Six of Cups, which could be beautiful old memories of the past. However, this is in the reverse, so there's some difficulty in the memories that are in your past recently, or that you're currently reflecting on. In the past, I would say there's been a lot of activity, and it seems that you were connected with one who, like the Emperor, has a measure of power over their own domain. Normally, this would be a fantastic divine masculine energy, but this is in the reverse. So someone exerted power in a situation that was not fair, was not equal, measured, and for the good of all. And that's leading you into an energy of justice. Something's wrong in the situation, and your focus becomes on righting what was wrong, making something official, balanced, and correct. And unlike the Temperance, this doesn't have the same kind of peaceful energy with it. It's a colder type of energy of balancing the scales for the sake of justice. Balancing matters that are fundamental for continuing on in any type of respect. And whoever you are connected to closely in the month of May, or at the end of this month of May going into June, they're going to have a feeling of being inspired to enact change, inspired or having passion to take action. And so it's a beautiful thing that justice is here in the upright, and that this passion to action is also here on the part of the other that you are dealing with, and there's going to be a conversation. And it's wonderful here that you have the King of Swords in the upright. So you are going to come together and settle matters, matters that may have felt, here this is the Knight of Wands in the reverse. So matters that may have been very flighty, passionate, but not in a positive way. And so it's really great that even though this connecting energy created this whole situation, you're coming to now an outcome where you're going to have a level-headed discussion, one where matters will be set straight for you. And then again, there's still this sort of balancing type of energy that's needed. It's at the moment, it's here in the reverse. So there's still some tension, some difficulty with this energy of balance and having an equal give and take. So that is an element to watch for, Taurus, as you go into the month of June. And so new beginnings can hopefully have the Hierophant there in the upright. That's good to see. hopefully balance can be achieved for you, Taurus, at this time. And then everyone's on different timelines, so but that's something for you to watch for in June, or the beginning of June, really. And as we are at this end of the month of May. All right, and that's all I have for you, Taurus. Going on to Gemini, the beautiful air sign of Gemini. Okay. So Gemini, this read is for you, for general energies at the end of the month of May, going into the month of June. All personal placements in the sign of Gemini, whether it's your Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, or Mars. Also, rising sign or north or south node. I recommend the north node if you are past the age of 30. But listening in for your, okay, Six of Coins in the reverse, to the King of Coins, to the Hierophant. So Gemini, you're dealing with themes of value, of equality. Okay, and you're coming out of an energy where you've wanted to move forward. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Cups. Kind of an over it energy, an energy of not feeling enthusiasm for something. Maybe a little despondency. All right. And no wonder. Okay, so for you, Gemini, in the recent past, we have the Chariot. You've wanted to move forward, to progress, to set your focus and move toward it in a very powerful way. And yet this has come up in the reverse for you in the past. And now you're in this energy of the Six of Coins, but in the reverse. So you are seeking to have generosity, care, and an equal give and take, and there's trouble with that. And the issue of investment is one that is also apparent in your read here. We have the King of Coins in the reverse. Normally the King of Coins is putting out his energy in a very equal and grounded way, that there's trouble with that, and that may be closely linked to the fact that the one that you're closely connected with is coming up in the Devil energy, which is toxic no matter really what way you look at it. In the very best, it could be some type of tie that is somewhat burdensome, some type of materialism, feeling bound to something, and not in a good way. So for you, Gemini, you're going into this energy of the star, but in the reverse. The star is a beautiful energy of hope and healing, and you're having trouble with that at the end of May, going into June. Queen of Coins in the reverse is there for the other that you are closely tied to. This one is feeling the need to turn all of her feminine nurturing care towards herself, towards her own preservation, protection. Overall, that really seems to be the theme here. A lot of coins. Coins and major arcana. These are very significant energies. Toxicity, movement forward and focus, hope, healing, And at the end, we have the Hierophant. So it looks like in the end, Gemini, things will be okay. You will settle matters in a traditional sense, maybe relying on methods from the past or the wiser counsel of those that have advised you in the past towards coming to a foundation that is going to be one that will be sustaining. Not a lot of joy here though, so that may be why this Four of Cups is here. You're kind of continuing on, but without any enthusiasm. It's just a lot of sadness, really, over not having what you'd hoped for. Hope squashed. But closely behind that is the Knight of Wands. So that's an enthusiasm. That's renewed hope and inspiration to move towards something new. So Gemini, the month of June may start to look up. You're working within these very foundational energies though at the end of May and leading into the month of June. All the best to you and working on dealing with those elements. And we'll move on now to the next sign, Cancer. So Cancer, this reading is for you. If you have a personal placement in the sign of Cancer. So if your Sun, Moon, Venus, Mercury, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, any of those personal placements in the sign of Cancer may yield some clarification to the energies that you are working with at the end of June, moving into at the end of May. End of May, moving into the month of June. For you, Cancer. Also, North, South Node, those placements in your birth chart may be helpful to follow as well for clarity on the energies at play in your life. Oh, got a few out all at once. All right. Oh, Four of Pentacles. Cancer, you're holding on to something. You're holding on to something as it is the last abundance to come in for you. You might feel like you are in an energy of lack at this time, but you are not. You've been dealing with a lot, and you haven't been talking about it. You've been balancing many elements in your life, likely monetary, foundational to your life. All right, and bottom of the deck, we have the Chariot. It's a beautiful energy of being able to move forward with full conviction and focus towards some type of substantial improvement, milestone, or achievement. It's a beautiful energy to see, followed by the Knight of Pentacles. So a lot of great potential already here for you, Cancer. Okay, like I said, you've been dealing with a lot. We have the Two of Pentacles in your recent past, and we have the Four of Coins as the energy that you find yourself in at the time of this read. But you are going into a beautiful energy of the Queen of Pentacles. It's a nurturing energy that gives life to yourself and to all around you. It's a very peaceful, calming, grounded energy. It's really beautiful. Okay, so whoever you're connected to, though, not in the best headspace. So we have the Hanged Man. The figure here, well, is a female, but this is the card of the Hanged Man, and it's coming up in the reverse. Normally the Hanged Man will put himself into a situation that is uncomfortable in order to find greater truth, to come to a better understanding of matters. However, this is in the reverse. So recently, this one that you are connected to decided they weren't making any sacrifices and they were going to stay suspended within the beliefs that were most comfortable to them. And now they're in Two of Swords. Two of Swords energy normally would be trusting intuition and leading or letting that intuition guide towards the best option of a decision that could be difficult. This is now in the reverse, so they're having difficulty with even making a decision on what action they want to take, where their thoughts will reside. So no wonder we have this negative energy of the devil here. So there's a toxic element now between you, and that's where, ahead of getting to the Chariot, which hopefully comes, you're going to have to deal with this either fear or negative energy of having to address something that is not going to be fun to deal with. And this just may be the fears that this one brings up that you may need to assess and maybe help to guide, because you are in this Queen of Coins energy. So it would seem that you have the ability to, with your nurturing and your positivity, to just be an example. The Queen of Pentacles, all of the queens really, they aren't very action-oriented cards, but they set an example, they set a standard. Okay, so that may be what you need to show. And overall communication here in this situation is not good, but there is wisdom, and that may be on your side mainly. But there's a lot of thoughts for the other that you're connected with, right? The Hangman is an energy of being kind of suspended in thought, and so is the Two of Swords. So there's care here in this situation, which is positive. And then there's wisdom. The High Priestess is not taking a great amount of action, but she's not completely without power. She has the ability to take action, and it just may be action that is subtle, and that of one who is setting an example. So it might be a kind gesture, it might be a simple gesture that will help bring this whole situation into this energy of the Chariot for you going into June. So things are definitely looking up for the way that the energy is leading, but just a heads up, there's going to be some toxic devil energy here, and it's more than likely just the fact that there are fears in the situation, and there's a need to keep to this this Queen of Pentacles energy. So Cancer, you have the wisdom you need to act, and it might just be a kind gesture that turns the tide here, transmutes the energy into one that puts everyone on track to being in the same Chariot energy, moving towards a positive goal in this situation. All right. And moving on from our water sign of Cancer, going back into fire, the sign of Leo. All right. Leo, this reading is for you. If any of your personal placements are in the sign of Leo, this could be your sun, your moon, the sign of your Mercury, Venus, or Mars, as well as your rising sign, north or south node. The sign of Leo. Okay, so what do we have for Leo at the end of May, leading into June? First card out here, we have the Three of Coins in the reverse. So some difficulty, some tension in working with others right off the bat. We have the Eight of Cups. There's an overall feeling of wanting to cut ties. You may be seeing that some connection is not fulfilling for you. This may be a sudden feeling that is coming up, and it's coming up for you after you've already made a decision to take a certain fundamental course. And it may be overall that the other that you're dealing with as well feels that same desire to cut ties. We have the Knight of Swords in the reverse at the bottom of the deck, followed by the Four of Cups. That's sad. Okay, so Knight of Swords wants to rush in and correct something. Knight of Swords is sure of his information, sure of his reports, and he feels the need to quickly rush in and correct matters to set things straight. So Leo, overall, there's a feeling between you and the other that you are connected with to cut ties. It's an emotional knee-jerk type of response. This isn't fulfilling for me, I'm out. And you may have made this decision even prior to the emotion that is rising between you to cut ties. And so this may have been a very thought out, almost what could feel to you as rational judgment to put energy towards a decision that you've already made in the past. And now the situation is not going well. You don't feel harmony and being in the same mind as the other that you're connected to. And so there's a lot of tension here that's leading you to be in this Two of Wands energy in the reverse. You're not having difficulty planning for the future, deciding what actions you will take. The other that you are closely connected to has recently been in a heartbroken type of energy, feeling loss, maybe betrayed, to some sadness, some difficult sadness, but they're coming into a feeling of hope and healing. So we have the Star. That's a beautiful major arcana of rejuvenation and coming back to oneself. So while there are difficult energies here, definitely improvements are at play. At the end, I see that there's going to be some type of letting go in this connection. So there's going to be a kind of lessening of the activity, the investment that is involved here. So, maybe it could just be too that there might be less going on, because we're going from the 3 of coins of your energy to this result of you coming into this connected 2 of coins in the reverse. And so there might be slightly less activity, which may ease matters, but ultimately you're going to be dropping some level of investment, which makes it a little difficult for you to plan the future that you want to look forward to. However, the other that you're connected to is going into this star energy. So this, whoever you're connected to is going to be doing much better, and you're going to be doing okay. And then we see you, though, in this Knight of Swords energy, wanting to correct something. 4 of Cups, Ace of Cups in the reverse. It looks like you're going to be putting your energy into maybe correcting matters. Maybe you're judging this one too harshly. And I don't know that you have any involvement in this 3 of Swords energy that they're even feeling, although that is affecting your connection. The fact that they go into the star energy, which is just a powerful energy of healing, shows that they're really putting in a good effort, even though you're not really having to. Okay, so be careful with the Knight of Swords energy, okay? And that's all I have for you, Leo. And hopefully this reading brings a little clarity for you in the end of May leading into June. I would say that it doesn't look like you have to do a whole lot. Things should work out pretty well for you and the one that you're connected to. Maybe just look to be a positive influence, as we all can at all times in our lives to the best of our ability. All right, Leo, that's all I have for you, and on to the sign of Virgo. Okay, Virgo. Beautiful earth sign. We're going to stick with this same theme for the deck used for the earth signs. Okay, Virgo, if you have your sun, moon, rising, any of your personal planets, Mercury especially, since Mercury is the lord of the sign of Virgo, Venus or Mars, this reading may be helpful to you to bring clarity to the energies that you may be dealing with. Okay, I see the devil flipping right there, but didn't actually come out. So, okay, got a lot out all at once. As long as I can keep the order of them, I take them. So, first of all, we have the 2 of Swords, King of Cups, 6 of Wands in the reverse, the Empress in the reverse, 4 of Coins. Okay, one more. Okay, for you, Virgo, you're in a 2 of Swords energy. You're relying on your intuition at this time because you're coming out of a time where you were in the Empress in the reverse. Okay, let's see. Bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Coins in the reverse. So some difficulty maybe learning something, starting something new, bringing to a beginning something that could be sustaining. All right. But okay, you're in a Two of Swords energy at this time, coming out of the Empress in the reverse. Empress is a beautiful energy of new growth, life, and abundance, but that's in the reverse. You've had some difficulty with those energies, and now you're relying on your intuition, trying to sense what to do, what action to take, and just to settle in that in your own mind. You're leading into this Four of Coins in the reverse, which is a Sun in Virgo. No, Sun in Capricorn energy. Sorry. Okay. Another earth sign. So no wonder. But you're going into this earth energy of holding on to what you have. And just almost deciding not to decide to move beyond anything that isn't already grounded and in your environment, to hold to yourself. Whoever you're connected to is in a Nine of Swords energy, a lot of worry, anxiety. This is probably the worst energy to be in. That's in their recent past. In the future, they're coming into a much better energy. It's a very youthful energy of the Page of Wands, wanting to start out on a new adventure, to renew passion, to bring a good word. So that is good. And it's no wonder, because there's love here. Connecting you and the other here is love. You have the King of Cups. So it's a very mature energy of emotion and care that isn't afraid to express that love even in turmoil. Right? We can see the waters here are both calm and troubled, but he's not troubled. And so overall, there is a grounded love that exists for you, Virgo. Ultimately, in June, you're coming into an energy of the Six of Wands, which is celebration, success. It's a beautiful energy, but you're having difficulty with this energy. It could be that the level of movement and excitement that is at play in this Six of Wands energy is not something you're comfortable with. If you are holding yourself in the Four of Coins, you're not going to be with all of this excitement. And so that may be what's holding you back at this time, at the end of May. Hopefully going into June, you'll do better with that. You can very easily turn this around to a just Six of Wands in the upright, which would not hurt this energy here of the Page of Coins that is currently leading to being one that's in the reverse. So, there's that Devil card again. All right. There's a lot of good energy here at work. In the past, it seems to have been a little bit more difficult, but overall, it's a good read. We see love in the center of all of this, and there just may be some difficulty in bringing things together, but there is an energy of success that you can bring more fully out in this time. So the opportunity is there, and you know, with the other that you were connected with going into that Page of Wands energy, it seems like you have the opportunity as well to have cooperation towards advancement, to more positive energies for you, Virgo. But it's a matter of dealing with that Four of Coins energy that's showing up for you so far. All right. From Virgo, we go to Libra. Beautiful balance. Energy of the planet Venus. Beauty and balance. All right. So this read is for you, Libra, if you have your sun, moon, rising, or any personal planet in the sign of Libra. Mercury, Venus, or Mars. Also, you can benefit from this reading if it resonates for your north or south node, if those placements are in the sign of Libra. Okay, first out we have the Seven of Wands. Going to be defending something. Then we have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. Some kind of truth needs to come out. And we have the King of Wands also in the reverse. And the Emperor in the reverse. So, okay. So far for you, Libra, you are defending your ground. You're coming out of the Emperor energy in the reverse. So in the recent past, you've been in an energy of taking control, but maybe not in the best way. Okay, got the Seven of Cups. There. You're going into Nine of Swords energy. Sorry, Libra. Okay, so Libra, in the past, recently, connected to this read, you've taken action that may have gone beyond what you should have. It may have been action that was self-centered, but you took it because you had the control or the ability to take that energy. Bottom of the deck, we have the Tower. The Tower here is coming up in the reverse. So there's something with a faulty foundation that needs to fall, needs to tumble, to end. Held closely by death there. Okay, and that's energy you're coming into early June. So, okay, Libra. So whatever action you've taken in the past as the Emperor, setting the rules, setting the boundaries for more than likely others than yourself as well as yourself, you may have overreached since the Emperor there is in the reverse. You're now in this Seven of Swords energy, or it's kind of sideways, but Seven of Swords, you're defending yourself, but you may not have the truth you need to do so. Overall, we have this energy of the Ace of Swords. Normally that would be truth, that would be facts. This is in the reverse, so the way things are being seen may not be factual between you and the other that you're dealing with, who was recently in this Seven of Cups energy in the reverse, feeling lost, confused, almost in an imaginary state of delusion. And maybe that led you to take charge, but at some point you did so outside of the bounds of what you should have. You're now defending yourself, but that's leading into going into this Nine of Swords energy of anxiety over the past, anxiety over where you are in the present, what you have done, and all of those fears that you feel are coming towards you. So, a lot of negativity that you need to get out of. the other that you're dealing with is going into the world energy, but in the reverse. Cover that up. So they're coming to some type of feeling of completion for an area of their life, a time in their life where they're having difficulty with it. Overall, we have the King of Wands also in the reverse. Too many reversals here. But King of Wands is an energy of taking decisive action with passion, with ingenuity. This is in the reverse. Again, there's some difficulty with this energy. But that's the potential that's there to have some sort of new beginning overall that is inventive, new, inspiring. But it seems like something needs to be cleared up. There needs to be some conversation to set matters straight, to equal things out. There is something faulty here. So for you, Libra, look for what is off. What clarity is needed to be on the same page with someone, to get your facts straight with whoever it is that you're dealing with. Okay, so it doesn't seem too awful. This Nine of Swords, thankfully, is in the reverse. You're going to be coming out of this. You'll come out of the anxiety, but the truth needs to be sought, clarity, and maybe just a conversation to get out of confusion that may be at work in the month of May as it closes out, going into June. So you can have a resetting of the foundation that you need to enjoy life to the full. And that's what I have for you, Libra. All the best to you. All right, and next we have Scorpio. Beautiful water sign. So Scorpio, this reading is for you if you have your sun, your moon, or any of your personal planets or placements in the sign of Scorpio, especially if you have a stellium there. I would listen for this sign of your stellium. If the ascendant of your birth chart is in the sign of Scorpio, this read may be helpful for you. And as well as the north and south node, that is important to listen for. And this reading is for the end of May into the early part of June for the energies of the sign of Scorpio. Okay, first off, you're at a time when you're feeling very level-headed. We have the King of Swords appearing for your energy. Three of Wands. There's a desire to watch for good, the good of a situation, for good results, but there's a pessimism here. We have the Page of Wands in the reverse, so there's a difficulty. I'm just going to take this. We have the Six of Wands in the reverse. So Scorpio, we're coming out of a time where there was maybe some type of hurt to your ego or to your feeling of success in a matter. Page of Swords. Whoever you are closely connected to has been very curious about you. You have been in their mind, on their thoughts. And you're coming to a time, though, where you're in this King of Swords. So your thoughts are balanced, relevant, and okay, I see the Justice appearing in the reverse, but not going to take it since we have all the cards we need for the spread here. Underneath, we have the High Priestess. So there's something that's not being said in the future. There's a deep knowing, a wisdom at play. It's not being expressed. Ten of Swords, Hermit, Seven of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. I'll stop. Those are energies that may appear later on. The current spread is leading to these outcomes at this time. But overall, there's been an investment already. We have the Three of Wands. There's been an inspirational product or project or venture that has been acted on, but at some point, you and the other that you're connected to came into an energy of no longer waiting for the good results of the good work you put in. The success that you may have started to feel in the past turned into something negative or difficult. The win seemed to turn to a loss. And now you've evaluated or you're in an energy of evaluating what's gone on, your own feelings as judged logically. So you're probably at a good point of evaluating now what you want to put your energy into. So as you go into June, you're going into this King of Wands energy, which is an inspired energy again of wanting to invest, to grow something, to fill your life with the passion of a project that you will take action on. Awesome energy. But whoever it is that you're dealing with, although they're coming out of a Page of Swords, maybe overly curious, overly, maybe even critical, since this is in the reverse. Some thought there, but it's immature thought, and it is in the reverse, so there's some difficulty with it. This one that you're connected to is going into this Nine of Cups energy, which is a very singular, satisfied energy. It's in the upright, so nothing wrong with this, but this is one that is settled, content for themselves, even if you can see the expression on this one's face. She's not open to another cup. She's satisfied with the cup she has. She's calm. Maybe a little bit indulgent, but that may be why this overall outcome here is the Page of Wands in the reverse. So it seems to be that you're the one, Scorpio, that's bringing the passion, the enthusiasm for some type of new creative project, right? Maybe similar to what was sought initially here, although the results of which are now overall in the connection not being looked forward to, or there is some type of just difficulty. It's probably coming from the side of the other that you're dealing with, since that Page of Wands is in the reverse and you're in the King of Wands in the upright. So a lot of good energy here. There's level-headed inspiration and passion to move forward. There's nothing overly negative here, but there are some difficulties, and it may be a matter of communication, since we have the High Priestess here. It's in the upright, so wisdom seems to be at work in whatever needs to end, whatever thoughts need to be had to begin an investment that is grounded and well thought out. And that's what I have for you, Scorpio. In these days of the end of May, going into the month of June, I hope that this read has brought clarity to your situation, to best deal with the others that may be connected to you at this time. And in any way that this read was helpful for you. On to Sagittarius. Some water too. Okay, Sagittarius. This reading is for you, Sagittarius. If you have your Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, or Mars, any of those personal placements in the sign of Sagittarius. Also, if your rising sign or north or south node are in the sign of Sagittarius, then this reading may be helpful for you to bring clarity to the energies at work in your life at this time in the month of May leading into June. Right off the bat, we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse. So Sagittarius, you want to go back to something. Oop. Okay. We have the Four of Swords and the Three of Cups. So, okay, that makes sense. Overall, there's a feeling of healing between you and another. There's been some hurt, some injustice in the recent past as you see it. Something was not right. Okay, so we have this one. And then, okay, these two came out together. All right, and bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Coins in the reverse. Somebody else had the Page of Coins in the reverse. I forget who it was. But that's an energy of starting out on a new path of learning, of something that is grounded and good. That's coming up in the reverse. Of course, that means there's some difficulty with that energy. Can't talk. All right, Sagittarius. You're in a feeling of wanting to go back to something that you felt the need to leave previously. You felt a sudden need to find fulfillment elsewhere. Something maybe unjust led you to do so. Maybe it was a perception that you had, or it was just your judgment of the overall situation. But in the recent past, the issue of justice was there, prompting an emotional need to separate yourself and set out on a new path. Overall, what's connecting you is a need to heal. So that may have been what you were seeking. You could have left a situation because you felt the need to heal something from your past. And with the one that you're connected with here, they're in the Temperance in the reverse. And that is an energy of not feeling at peace, not feeling well and settled. The potential is there for that to be in this connections energy, but in the recent past, that was a very significant energy. Both major arcana. In your past, recently, the Justice, and in the one that you're connected with, the Temperance in the reverse. So, seems you took sudden action. Overall, there's a need to heal for you and this one that you're connected to. You're going into the Four of Coins energy. So at the end of May, leading into June, you're holding to your position. You're feeling lack, and you're feeling as though what you're leading to is the Five of Coins, feeling out in the cold. But at the moment, you feel scarcity, but you're starting to let go of that. And it may be because of this desire to heal. And overall, in this situation, we have the Three of Cups, which is a very beautiful energy of coming together with care and good emotion towards others. We have the Graces for the Greek gods that this card is symbolizing here. So you might be coming together with this one. Either that, or your emotions are just transmuting whatever negativity or injustice is in the situation. I don't see anything too dire currently. The Four of Swords is maybe the most difficult energy that is at play, only because the Four of Swords follows the heartbreak of the Three of Swords. So that could be energy that took place between you and the other that you're connected with. But overall, both of you are healing, and you come into this Three of Cups energy, which is beautiful. They are going into this energy of the Knight of Coins and the Knight of Swords. So they are feeling a need for foundation, for solid, measured movement forward, as well as movement forward in truth and correcting matters. While you're in a Four of Coins energy in the reverse. So you are starting to let go of something that you held to, maybe even to your detriment, but it's a pause for sure. It's almost the lesser of the Devil energy. It's not the major arcana of the Devil, but it's a similar energy of tying yourself to what you have and going into a state of inaction, but it's in the reverse. So you're letting go of that. That's a good thing. The other that you're dealing with seems to be further along, maybe in their healing, with being in a Knight of Coins energy, which is a very slow knight, but they are moving. They are directed to action. And then Knight of Swords shows that they have even a little bit more agency to correct whatever's gone on. So Sagittarius, this is a pretty good reading for you in this time as we conclude the month of May and go into June. So yeah, pay attention to your own energy, or lack of energy towards healing. You don't seem inclined to let go towards action at this time, but you're leaning towards it. So you're leaning towards something good. All right. Let's see what we have for Capricorn. Capricorn in this time of the end of May, going into June. All right, Capricorn, if you were a Capricorn sun, moon, rising sign, any of the other personal planet placements as well. So Mercury, Venus, Mars, this reading may be insightful for you in anticipating the energies that may be at work in your life in this time at the end of May leading into June. Oh, okay. So we have first Three of Wands in the reverse and the Knight, sorry, not the Knight of Wands, the Page of Wands. Okay, we're gonna leave that sideways like it is. Okay, so you're in this Three of Wands energy, not looking for the results of what seemed maybe in the past to be something good, something that you felt enthusiasm for, that you felt you would see good results from, but now you're in a feeling of thinking those good results will not come. Okay, and then we have Seven of Cups in the reverse. All right, bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Cups. That's coming up in the reverse. Normally the Two of Cups would be beautiful harmony between individuals coming together. But this is in the reverse, so there's a level of disharmony or potential that that's what the energy, the current energy leads to right now. For you, Capricorn, it's easy to turn that around though. You have agency, you have the ability to transmute energy, and there's something good here. So you've already felt that something was good, that you would see good results of your passion, of your involvement. Even though there was some type of negativity, fight, harsh words, competition, some ugliness in the past recently, some level of it, okay? And now you're heading into this energy of the Nine of Swords. It's a lot of worry, it's a lot of anxiety, sleepless nights, very sad, crying. The one that you are connected to, or the ones, those that you're closely connected to, were recently in this energy of justice. So there was an issue of fairness, of an imbalance, a fundamental imbalance that went on in the past. And then they're going into this Seven of Cups in the reverse. So all the confusion, clarity, fantasy that had maybe been at work for this person is now in the reverse, so they know what they want. Their emotions are now settled and not revolving around fantasies. There is some type of renewed enthusiasm here overall, and it seems to maybe be coming more from the one that you're connected to than from yourself, since you're in pretty negative energies here. But this one is coming from the Justice, Major Arcana, into the Seven of Cups in the reverse. Overall, the outcome is the Four of Wands, which is that beautiful passion and coming together in celebration of some type of shared union. So if there's been an injustice, if there's been a lack of clarity, anxiety, then there's going to be an exuberant celebration here of coming together in harmony, in unified thought, and without confusion. So really beautiful. This Two of Cups in the reverse is something to be watchful of. Okay, so don't let that rain on your parade, because you have a Four of Wands coming in here, and that's beautiful for maybe your home, for the others that you're connected to. But there could still be emotions that are left to be dealt with going into June for you, Capricorn. Okay, so all the best to you, Capricorn. Overall, a pretty good read. 4 of Wands is a beautiful energy to see, especially in the outcome of a reading. So, Capricorn, I hope that this read is helpful to you to bring some awareness to the energies that you might want to smooth out in this time, and that everything comes to a beautiful conclusion in this time. All right, Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. So, for you, Aquarius, this read is meant for anyone with a personal placement in the sign of Aquarius. So, whether that be your sun, your moon, or rising, and any of your personal birth chart placements that are of the sign of Aquarius in the month of May, or really the end of the month of May, this last week here, moving into June for Aquarius. Also, your North and South Node may be of interest to follow. Oh, I'm sorry, Aquarius. So overall for you at this time, you're in this 3 of Swords energy. There's a sadness here, a heartbreak, a loss of some kind that you're dealing with. Something that cut deep. And let's see though where this might be leading to. Okay, we have Page of Cups. So overall in your situation, there's a need for some type of apology. And then we have the 7 of Cups in the reverse. That's a good thing. So ultimately in your situation, Aquarius, you're going to have clarity. Okay. Oh. We have Temperance. So in the past you were very patient. You sought to balance out a matter. And there's some kind of energy coming up for you for the Ace of Coins. So some type of opportunity that may not seem as stable as you would want. We have the 7 of Wands coming out there for the one you're connected to, Aquarius. So in the recent past, whoever you're connected to felt the need to defend themselves, their stance, their actions, their words. They felt that they were justified. We have the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. So you're coming up to a choice. It's a very important choice, and you're having difficulty with it. Aquarius, you're coming up to a choice. There's an energy of the possibility of a great love, the possibility of a wonderful outcome that you're having some difficulty with. And no wonder, because we also have a lot of reversals here, or a fair amount, but and you are finding yourself in a energy of heartbreak. So I'm thinking somebody needs to apologize to you, and they know it. We have the Page of Cups, and it's in the reverse, and that's what's connecting you. There's a need for an apology to come from this one who feels at the moment the need, or has felt the energy of needing to defend themselves, their actions, But they're moving into an energy of reflecting on the good memories of the past that were there between the two of you. The cups of love that were shared. It's on the side, so a little bit of, they're still coming around to it. But ultimately, the outcome is a 7 of Cups, and it's in the reverse. So they're choosing one cup, okay? This is the confusion that maybe led them to defend their actions. The fantasy of feelings or distortion of feelings is being overcome here. And so with this in the reverse, the apology is coming. Whether or not it's substantial enough for you to feel grounded in this situation seems to be still unclear. If this is you, Aquarius, that needs to apologize, then make it sincere. Okay? Because that can also be what's happening here. One that's hurt can often take actions that hurt another that's done nothing to them. So if it's you that's making an offer, make it a full offer, okay? You control what energy you go into. And so if it's your action that is taking place, and this read is for you, Aquarius, so the choice here is yours. With the Lovers. The Queen of Swords that just popped out. Okay. But yeah, the Lovers is here as the energy that this read is leading up to. So I think you have a lot of agency in the matter. Okay, so leading into June, there's a potential for a really sweet energy of this Page of Cups. But it's going to need to be a solid and grounded offer so that this will come into the upright. And that's what I see for you, Aquarius. Not too bad of a read for you. I'm sorry for the heartbreak that is there. And that may be what you need to overcome in order to have the clarity you need to go into the sweet Page of Cups energy and find yourself in this energy of the Lovers in the upright. Right. And last but not least, Pisces. All right, Pisces, the beautiful water sign of Pisces. This reading is for you. If you have your sun in the sign of Pisces, your moon, or your ascendant or rising sign. Also, if your personal planetary placements are in the sign of Pisces, or you have a stellium in the sign of Pisces, then this read may bring clarity to the energies that you are experiencing and working with at the end of May, leading into the month of June. And as well as your north or south node, forget if I said that, the north node is currently in the sign of Pisces, according to the present transits of our planets. So we have Temperance. Oh wait, what did I do? Yeah, okay. So Temperance, you've been in a very patient energy of transmuting what is bad into good. What is, oh, judgment. No, that's not, sorry. I took this as being temperance. So this is the judgment energy. So Pisces, you're bringing something to life. You've made a decision, you've made a call, and Four of Swords. In the past, recently, you've been healing. You're still, though, feeling heartbreak and sadness. But overall, I see the Knight of Cups is at the center already. You can see the Knight of Cups at the center of your read. So there is a feeling of love here in your read overall, but still a lot of need to heal. As much as you might want to bring something back, okay, and the Empress, it's beautiful. Oh, and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, bottom of the deck, Ace of Pentacles. I'm happy to see that for you, Pisces. Seven of Pentacles following that. Okay, so already your read is pointing to good energy and a good outcome with the Ace of Pentacles there. Despite the sadness of, I would say, a long period of needing to heal, you've known already in the past that you've needed to heal. And I think this energy of the Judgment is you recognizing that you're still hurt. Your heart is still broken. And that's just where you're at the moment. You're making the call and deciding, okay, well, that's where I'm at right now. And what's beautiful is that with the Knight of Cups here, you're making this decision out of love. And the Knight of Cups is bringing a message of love to another. And so this may be out of recognizing that you're hurt and that what you want to bring to another is love and not hurt. And so ultimately, I see that you are going to have this outcome of the Five of Swords in the reverse. In the upright, this is a very negative card. It's a cutthroat card, signifying making decisions that are best for oneself to the detriment of whoever else is collateral. But you're not doing that, Pisces. You're deciding not to only look out for your own interest. Okay, so you don't want to fight and you don't want to create any more negativity, even though your heart is broken. And so the one that you're connected with here closely in the recent past was in a Fool energy. It's one who is leaving to set out on a new adventure. Maybe one they're not prepared for, but they will seek with trust no matter. And then they're finding that they're going into this Empress energy. So the venture that this one is setting out on is one to come into the Empress energy. It's also an energy of love, because this is the unifying energy here in this read. So this person or this group that you are connected to, they're setting out to become an Empress. They're setting out to be one that is abundant, beautiful, and able to nourish others, even just by her presence. And that's a really beautiful thing. And in the end, Pisces, something wonderful is coming for you as well. A solid offer, a new beginning as well. A beautiful read for you, Pisces, for the end of this time of May going into June, even in heartbreak. Of course, Pisces is thinking of others, and it's leading to a wonderful new beginning for yourself as well. And that's all I have. All the best and healing and goodness for you, Pisces.